pressure, don't ask if you're ready. Life kept swinging, so I learned how to stand steady. Nick T. White, not polished for the crowd. More like thunder in the distance when the sky gets loud. I don't lead from the back, I step into the weather. Bring the broken pieces close, then we build them together. Years on the mat taught me silence has weight. Control beats, anger when the stakes get raised. Discipline, pain, faith, and fire. Turn every hard lesson into something higher. I move with purpose, not noise for the moment. Pressure comes close, I make power from it. Not just a voice, not just a face on a screen. I'm made from the places most people never see. When the night gets loud and the fear talks reckless, I bring the light in, cage the darkness. I chase strange lights over Tennessee skies. Track what move where the clean answers die. Ghost work beat where the old walls listen. Bear witch ground where the curse still whispering. TV caught pieces but it never caught off. The real work starts when the cameras fall. Scientist mind spirit locked on truth. Test what I can then I follow the proof. Computer brain wired for the problem in the code. If the system breaks down I find a road. Guitar in the corner, rhythm in the bones. Controller in hand but the mission is my own. Compellers in fire when the match gets tight. Sharp eyes moving through the smoke and the light. Yeshua at the center, that line stays clear. Love for the lost, but I don't build a fear. Some men talk strength, some carry the cost. Some become a signal for the ones who feel lost. Creator, investigator, fighter, and guide. Part reason, part instinct, part storm inside. I'm the one they call when the floor starts cracking. Not because I'm perfect, because I keep acting. The darkness moves through every lane I claim. Not trapped in one box, not chasing one name. From the haunted fields to the digital wall, I bring purpose with me when I step through the door. Nick T. White, still cut from the test, still standing, still building, still giving my best. Nick T. White,
What up? On to the Knicks. All right. Let's get this stuff started. How you guys doing? Woo! All right, turn that music on. What's up, guys? Welcome. Welcome to the first episode of Nick T. White, Unfiltered. Hey, hopefully you guys can hear me very well. I don't have chat on right now because I have to do this on my phone. As y'all know me, I don't have a whole lot of equipment just yet, but we're going to get all that stuff settled. I got all kinds of good plans for you guys coming up very soon. So hopefully you guys will have a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of good times. We're going to have to tell you about all kinds of different kind of stuff. But this is going to be a very fun thing and a very fun project for myself, my team, and everybody else, and you guys as well. And so hopefully you guys will enjoy yourself. I've got a lot of really cool stuff to tell you guys about some things. Usually our episodes will be about an hour long, but today's, it's going to be live right now. Not everyone will be live, but I wanted to hop on here with you guys live, so that way you guys could, we'll interact a little bit as well during this podcast. Most of them won't all be live. I do have some set up with a lot of different kind of guests from different walks of life. Everything from science field to sports. Like, I live here in Tennessee, so I have some friends that actually play for the University of Tennessee football team and things like that we'll be having on here. I've got a lot of friends. I'm also not just a paranormal UFO investigator. You guys may have seen me on the A&E Network television series, Cursed the Bell Witch. I was there in Adams, Tennessee. Which is about the Bell Witch haunting. I don't know if you guys got to catch that, but you can go see some of the clips here on my channel. And you can also see the show on Discovery Plus and Amazon Prime Video right now as well. We do have some, and the show is here on YouTube TV Movies, so if you want to catch it up, see all kinds of cool stuff. This is about the haunting in Adams, Tennessee. It was about the Bell Witch haunting. It was very fun. It's very interesting. There was a lot of things that went on during that investigation that I enjoyed. Some was kind of scary. But if you guys know me, one of the main things I always tell people, when they go on in those investigations and stuff, to protect yourself. Well, I got a little too excited to be on TV, and I kind of forgot to protect myself. So I had a clergy friend that kind of had to pull something off of me. So that's why I always say, you guys, make sure if you go out on any kind of investigation, make sure you're protected, not just with the paranormal stuff, but there's also like physical things that you need to really pay attention to. But the cave there was really cool. I enjoyed the show. But other than that, this is not a paranormal podcast, so don't expect all kinds of paranormal stuff all the time. I have a lot of other really cool things going on for the podcast. So what we usually will do, I'm just kind of giving you an idea of some of the stuff's going on, because the filter is off now. I'm not a person that's going to be afraid to talk my mind. I'm not a person that just kind of doesn't say things when maybe needs to be said. And then I also have a lot of really cool stuff. We're going to have sports. We got a sports segment that I'll be, you guys will be enjoying here shortly, because this will be, like I say, most of the podcasts will be about an hour long. But this podcast will be about 40 minutes, 45, give or take, and I will open it up since it's going to be live. I will open it up for everyone to ask questions. If you have any questions about the podcast, you have any questions about some of the topics that I touch on today, feel free to ask. You have any questions about me, about whatever it is, we'll open those questions up for you guys later on this evening. At the end of the show here, and hopefully you guys will have all kinds of fun questions. But we're just going to be keeping it kind of simple. It's more of a conversational show. I'm not going to be your typical podcast. Don't expect me to just do exactly the same thing that everybody else does. I'm not the same kind of person that everybody else is either. I'm usually that leader guy that, I'm the one that tries to help people as much as I can and try to do good things for folks and to lead other people into doing the same thing, no matter which way. You always try to do good for others, to always try to help your friends and your family, and always support those that, may not be able to support themselves. But always look out for folks, man. That's what I always one of the coolest things to do in my life. I love people. I really do love folks. I love talking to folks. I love learning about them, all kinds of stuff like that. But we're going to be building something bigger. I've done, TV investigations, gaming. If you didn't know, I stream as well on Twitch, Nick White CTD. We do have schedule over there, so I do a lot of gaming and stuff over there. We'll do some IRL investigations, paranormal and UFO investigations on there as well. So make sure you guys go over there. TikTok too. Is Nick White CTD. I will be going live on there often like this. So that way it's a little more on TikTok. It'll be a little more conversational. You guys will be able to interact. You'll be able to, we'll be able to talk with each other and things like that on TikTok more. So make sure you pop over to TikTok, Nick White CTD. And let me know you're over there too, man. I'll be glad to follow you guys back. And like I've always said to folks, no matter where I end up, if I do end up doing very well, if things go well for myself, my team, and everybody that's working with me, everybody that's been, really kind and nice to me and helped me out along the way, it's stood by me throughout the hard things and the good things. I'm going to tell you one thing right now, that you guys will be coming with me, because that's one of the most important things is if you get up to the top, you don't look down on your friends, you bring them up there with you. So hopefully everything will go well and you guys will enjoy everything. Let's say I can tell you guys a little bit more. I also do a lot more content creating. I've got some vlogs on here already. I've got, I think 4 on here. I'll be doing a lot more vlogs and things like that as well. I live here in the Sevier County area, which is Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Gatlinburg. If you guys know who Dolly Parton is, my mother actually went to school with her. So, so you guys, that's where I live, in Pigeon Forge, close right here. So if you guys have ever came out around here, you guys know how amazing this place is. So we'll be going around sometimes around town. We're going to be meeting folks. I have a lot of friends that own businesses, small businesses. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a chef as well, and I do know a lot of folks that own food trucks, that own small business restaurants. I have a very good friend of mine. He's like a brother. He actually runs a beer place where they do their own brewing, things like that. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to go hang out with him. There's just all kinds of stuff like that I'm going to be doing around here locally. So that way you guys will enjoy, have a good time. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. If you guys see, I think I got my chat up somewhere. If you guys can hear me, if you don't mind, just let me know I'm clear. If I'm not, I'll make sure to turn it up a little bit, but just let me know if you guys are in there. If you can tell me, make sure you can hear me and everything. I am a loud talker, so I'm sure you probably can't hear me very well. But let's see, I don't know anything else real quick just to start off with here, just to let you guys know a little bit about the podcast, what I'm going to be doing, and the other stuff then. Now, also, if you guys are interested in being part of the podcast, it won't just be me like this, with a little bit of a green screen and stuff like that. We've actually started working on a cool little studio section, setup with the mics and the chairs and all that. So we'll be having a lot of recorded as well. So I'll have, the setups for me and the guest. We'll be able to talk about whatever their field is from, whatever they are interested in, whatever they do. So we'll have recorded podcast. Hopefully we'll get all the setup with the little set and all that. So we'll be doing a lot of live recordings as well. I won't always be doing this like this live, where you guys will be on here with me. So we'll be doing a lot of really fun stuff. Let me think here. Let's see. We'll do some chef stuff, things like that as well. Any of these food truck places, any of these restaurants, the small businesses, and anything like that I'm going in, we'll make sure we'll sit down with those folks. We'll talk to them about their business, about their small business and stuff, because I do want to bring some attention to small businesses a lot as well on this podcast. So that way you guys, because it's what it's about. We're supporting a lot of folks that may not get that support, and we'll get some eyes on folks that may not get a lot of those eyes. So hopefully you guys will join me for those, because we'll go back into the kitchen, stuff like that with these folks, and we'll go around, we'll check out what they're doing and stuff like that. So it's going to be a really good time. I don't know if that's all. Let's see. That's pretty much all about the podcast, about the show. So if you guys watch the replay here about the show, about what it's about, what we're going to do, about the different kind of guests that we're going to have, and what topics we're going to have, because we're going to have everything from sports, gaming, yes, of course, paranormal stuff, UFO stuff. I'm going to go around to a lot of these small businesses. I have a lot of friends that own food trucks. I have a good friend that runs a brewery company, and they brew their own beer here locally in Knoxville. So we'll go by there. We'll get to look around, stuff like that as well, because this is not just your typical podcast. We're going to enjoy. It's more of a conversational kind of podcast. Eventually, we'll sit down in our studio that we're getting put together and stuff like that, so you guys will hopefully enjoy all that kind of stuff, and we'll have a lot of fun. It's going to be a really good time. Let me think here. That's about it about the podcast. That's just kind of the beginning. Give you a little background of what's going on, a little background about myself. I have done a lot of paranormal UFO investigations, but I'm also a martial artist. I also do music. I play guitar and sing as well. I'm a gamer too, so all that kind of stuff. We're going to do a lot of topics. Today, the setup will be about 40-45 minutes. We are going to have our sports segment here shortly. We're also going to have our gaming segment here shortly. I'll give you guys a lot of sports news, a little bit of sports news. I'll give you guys a little bit of gaming news, a lot of things that's going on in gaming at the moment. And then at the end, I'm going to open it up for you guys if y'all have any questions, stuff like that. So during these live type podcasts that I'm doing, like this one, we're going to be doing it here on YouTube and on TikTok on Nick White CTD, as well as our Nick T. White Unfiltered TikTok on TikTok. Did I just repeat myself? But yeah, so we're going to do a lot of the live. Now, I will be sitting down with a lot of guests. We are going to have guests throughout this podcast, and I do have a set. We have a set, so we're going to be sitting down with them. But those are mostly probably going to be recorded. But if you guys, if you have questions, once I get the full schedule of everybody that's going to be on, if you have any questions for these guests, I will set up this email for you guys to be able to contact me or the team, so that way your guests or your questions will be asked to the guests that are going to be on the podcast. And there's going to be all kinds of them. Like I said, yes, of course, I will have a lot of paranormal friends, but I have friends here that are University of Tennessee football players as well as basketball players, so we're going to have some sports guys and things like that. And I do know others that I haven't mentioned that I know and talk to, so we'll be having some sports on here. And I have a lot of gaming friends out of larger creators that will be on here as well. I have that lined up, so that's going to be really fun. I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for you guys to get to know some of these folks, because some you may not even know them yet. So hopefully you guys will enjoy all that, and it's going to be a good time. But I will be doing a lot of live stuff on TikTok, so make sure you guys are going over to TikTok, Nick White CTD and Nick T. White Unfiltered on TikTok. We're going to do a lot of live stuff over there, and that way, you guys will be able to join me. Maybe we can even have you guys join me on that TikTok, so you can, if you have questions for myself or a guest that's been on or going to be on, it'll be easier for you guys to ask questions and things like that. But that's pretty much a basic, introduction of the show, what it's going to be about, about myself. And any other questions that you may have, I'll be glad to answer them, and I'm sure we'll have a whole lot of fun. But that's kind of the beginning of that, and if you guys watch the replay, hopefully you guys will come back when we have our set, everything set up for everybody to sit down. We're going to have real good conversations with everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. So after that, what we're going to do now, we're going to get into our court vision, which is what I call the sports segment. Court Vision today is going to be about the Knicks. If you guys didn't see, the New York Knicks have just recently won the championship, which is pretty cool, man. But I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, so of course I'm a little disappointed. My guys didn't really kind of get too far, but they did fairly well. They won their first championship. It's been since like 1973. So I'm really excited for the New York folks and everybody, the Knicks fans and all that. It makes me feel good for them, because I know how it is when you get to see your team actually go somewhere. Because there's been a lot going on, and they've been loyal to their fan base is very loyal. The Knicks are very loyal, and I'm very happy for them. I'm glad the Knicks won, even though I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, and I always have been since the old days of Kevin Johnson and Charles, and Steve Nash is my favorite player. Sure, I enjoyed some Michael Jordan and things like that back in the day, but I'm a big basketball guy. I'm a basketball nut. Like for an example, like one of the things I was going to tell you about, which Devin Booker. I don't know if you guys know about the Phoenix Suns, but Devin Booker, he's recently changed his number. Devin Booker is going to be doing number 15, which was his number on the USA team, and it was his father's number as well. So I think that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of really cool stuff going on with the Phoenix Suns and the basketball, football, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to keep you guys up with a lot of that kind of things. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that, because I love sports. I always have, and I love talking about it. And I do, like I say, I do have friends here that actually play for the University of Tennessee basketball team. And I have friends around the University of Tennessee football team as well. So we'll probably even have some of those on the podcast for you guys to talk with and ask questions and stuff like that as well. So I'm hoping you guys will enjoy that. That's and then of course I think what it was, I even had wrote it down. I think there was something going on with let's see, I believe it was the Denver Broncos, is something like that happened. Did they not just sign? I believe they just signed Sean Payton. Let me double check what I got here. What did I have? Let's see. Yep. Nope. Yep. Yep. Good times. All right. Should have had all this stuff set up. I tried my best, man. This is kind of the first thing. Of course, it's going to be a little back and forth here. And I'm just kind of talking, and I've got some notes and things like that. But we'll have a lot more structure and things like that for you guys. It's not just going to be me just sitting here talking with a green screen behind me and stuff like that all the time. But I just wanted to hop on here today, get you guys interested, or get you guys introduced to the show, introduced about myself, what I'm interested in, what the show's going to be about, and we're going to have sports and things like that as well. Let me see here. I've got, where did I do about the Denver? Because Denver had just got Sean Payton signed in, I believe, for another. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was locked him in through, it's till 2030. So, like, they've actually signed him for till 2030. So, Sean Payton now is going to be locked into the team on the Broncos. That's pretty cool, man. I was a Broncos fan when Peyton Manning was on there, but I was a Peyton Manning fan. I was a huge, of course, University of Tennessee. He played here. I of course, I was a big Colts fan as well, Indianapolis Colts, but I was more of a Peyton Manning fan. I followed him to the Broncos and watched them a little bit. Of course, they won a championship, and it was a good time. But once he left, I just went back to my basic fun team, Detroit Lions. I've always been a Detroit Lions fan since the old Barry Sanders days. The guy used to juke around everybody, and it was all a good time too. Let's see. I've got a few other things here. That was about, I didn't have a whole lot of notes for sports stuff right now. I'm just kind of, like I say, this is just going to be about anywhere about 30 to 40 minutes. We're not going to be a crazy long podcast here in the beginning, crazy not long show in the beginning. I just wanted to get you guys kind of into what the show's going to be about, what the guests are going to be on, and the things that we'll be talking about. Hopefully you guys, if you guys have any other topics that you are interested in, this is literally going to be like a Temu version of a Joe Rogan show. So, because we're just starting low, we're just going to start talking to folks that you may be interested in, or myself may be interested in, that has something very interesting to say, and it's not about people being famous. It's not about people, celebrities. It's not about none of that. It's about really kind of showing you folks that that should have notoriety and should have that the eyes on them. So hopefully I can get you guys eyes on some of these small businesses around here, around Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and Gatlinburg, Tennessee, right here in Knoxville, Tennessee as well. And if there's any other small businesses around the United States or around that may see me across the world, if you guys have a really an interesting story about your business, an interesting story about yourself, or something like that, feel free to get a hold of me. Let me know. You guys can get a hold of us on the TikTok message right now on Nick T. White Unfiltered. There we have a Facebook, Nick T. White Unfiltered on Facebook as well, and you guys are welcome to message me there, message the team. If you guys have a story, have something to say, message us and let me know. I'm glad to put you guys on here because it's not just about celebrities and big names and all that stuff with me and this show. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's going to be a good time. Let's see what else we got. And I do want to mention real quick, make sure you guys go check out Dark Realm TV. If you guys have Roku Network, the Dark Realm TV guys are really good friends of mine. Joe, Jason, and Jay. They're really good people. You make sure you go check out Dark Realm TV on Roku Network. It's like a $4.99 a month, $50 a whole year. They've got all kinds of stuff, everything from paranormal to there's some wrestling on there, Native American content, a lot of really fun things. And they're also looking for shows to put on to their network. So if you guys do that type of stuff, and there's going to be other things like that as well, just give a shout. And I'm sure I can get you guys in contact with them, and you guys can also check them out on Facebook, Dark Realm TV, and you guys can also check them out on the network, Roku Network, so you guys will hopefully enjoy that. And also I'd like to bring attention to Kudos Custom Creations. You guys can look up Kudos Custom Creations, COUTOS Custom Creations on Facebook right now. Kudos Custom Creations does all kinds of stuff like candles, mirrors, a lot of laser engravings and things like that, and I will bring a lot of stuff to you guys' attention and let you guys check some of that out too. So make sure you guys go check those guys out. Hopefully you guys will enjoy some of that stuff because they do a lot of really cool things. Just to kind of get a little bit more, probably got I'll give you guys a little bit of gaming news as well, and then we'll get into an open segment here. You guys can ask some questions if you have questions. If you have any kind of topics that you want to touch on, I will open it up. I don't have my chat up at the moment, just because I have to do this on my phone. I've got my DSLR and all this other stuff set up, ready to go here soon. But here in about, I'd say about 10 minutes, we'll get into the gaming segment here. I'll give you guys a little news on some gaming stuff, and then right after that, I'll get you guys a little bit of a summary of everything, and then we'll open it up for some Q&As. If you guys have questions for myself about the show, if you guys have any topics you want to talk on, any of that kind of stuff, if you have questions about the TV series that I'm on as well, Curse the Bell Witch, or about paranormal, UFO, martial arts, music, whatever you guys may have an interest in, I'll open this floor up here in about 10 minutes, and you guys can ask your questions, and I'll be glad to answer anything. I'm very open. I'm an open book. I want to be transparent with you guys about every single thing. So if you have any kind of questions whatsoever, here in about 10 minutes after the next segment, we can chat a little bit. Let's see. We got my segments. Like I say, the sports segment earlier, we're going to call that Court Vision. And I'll be doing a lot of sports and stuff like that because I do love sports. I'm a huge NBA fan. I'm a basketball guy, football as well. And then I'll keep you up with a lot of martial arts stuff because I took 16 and a half years of martial arts, and I love it. I've always been interested in any martial art. I mean, I've got Bruce Lee's nickname on my forearm, so I mean, I enjoy that stuff, and I'll get you guys filled in with a lot of things like that upcoming, maybe even UFC things like that as well. So hopefully you guys will enjoy all that. But we'll get into the next segment, which the next segment right here is going to be Game Break. So the segment Game Break is going to be about game topics, about recent things that's changed, recent things coming up, games coming up, things you may haven't seen or may have seen, or stuff like that as well. Today's couple little small topics in Game Break is going to be about Marvel's Wolverine. Sorry. Marvel's Wolverine, which is actually coming out very soon. I'm a big Wolverine fan. As you guys know, I am a Batman nut. So, but when it comes to Marvel, I'm a big Wolverine and Spider-Man guy. That's my favorite over there on that side. It's going to be on PS5. and it's going to be it is going to be mature. There is going to be a lot of blood and guts and things, because I don't know if you ever really do, if you do know about Wolverine and you check the comics and any of the original stuff, like it should be rated R, because he slices people's heads off, and he also does the the thing through the head and all kinds of crazy slapping, all the good stuff. I got you. All right. But I don't want to say too much with the first live. We don't want to say too much, get us craziness going on. But let me see what's going on here. That's coming out very soon, so you guys make sure to check that out. And then another one that I'm very excited about is Hell Let Loose Vietnam. I don't know if you guys have checked out Hell Let Loose. It was a World War II type game, open world-ish. You team up with folks similar to the Arma Reforger games and stuff like that. And it's a lot, it's a different formula, the way things are going. You're actually in Vietnam, and it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great game, Hell Let Loose Vietnam. So you guys make sure you check that out. A lot of clutch saves, a lot of squad chaos and teamwork and things like that. It's going to be a good time. Let's see, and then other stuff. I believe they've got a new update as well on Crimson Desert, so you guys make sure to look into that stuff. Crimson Desert is really, they've been doing a very good job at kind of giving all the people that actually play the game and listening to the folks that play the game, and have been answering a lot of questions and answering a lot of things that people need and want in the game. So I'm really excited about Pearl Abyss. Pearl Abyss is the ones that makes Crimson Desert, and they've done an amazing job. I'm looking forward to all the new stuff. Apparently up here soon, they're going to be having a multiplayer to co-op as well. I don't know if it's going to be similar to the GTA Online and stuff, but if they do, I know I'm going to be playing it, and I know we'll be over here on Twitch playing it often, so you guys make sure you go over to Twitch sometimes, and Nick White CTD on Twitch, because I've got a full schedule over there. Just go over there and check out the schedule. I've also got a new week, not this coming week, but next week I'm going to be collabing with a lot of different folks that whole week, larger and smaller creators. And we're going to be doing a lot of fun things there too, so make sure you guys come over, check it out, have a good time. I always have fun playing games, and I just enjoy hanging out with folks. So if you're bored, you ain't got nothing to do, pop over sometimes, hang out with me. I'm usually over there at 2 p.m. Eastern, pretty much almost every other day. Just check the old schedule on Twitch over there, and you'll see when I'm going live. Now listen, I'm also going to be doing a lot of live interaction stuff like this on TikTok. So that way you guys, maybe if you have questions, I'll just bring you guys on up, and we could talk directly. So make sure you pop over to TikTok, Nick White CTD on TikTok as well, same as it is on Twitch. And we've also got Nick T. White Unfiltered on TikTok and Facebook. So make sure you're going over there, checking all that stuff out, liking and following and on whatever, all that good time stuff. And you guys, if you all are also content creators and you're up for that collab stuff, give me a shout, man. I don't care if you're a small or large creator at all. I don't care about any of that. If you enjoy games, you love playing games, get a hold of me. We'll have some fun. We'll pop on some games. We'll do whatever, and it'll be a good time. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Let me think there's any other summary of stuff, and then I'll just open up the floor for folks to ask questions. If you guys have any questions about anything, about the show, if you guys have any questions about upcoming guests, anything about whatever you guys have any questions about, feel free to ask. Let me think here. I believe that's about all. Let's see. Like I say, it's not going to be a very long podcast today. Today is just basically me hopping on here a little bit, giving you guys an idea. I can't really talk today. Giving you guys an idea about what we're going to be doing, the guests and things like that that will be on the show. And we're going to bring attention to small businesses. I'm going to have different sports guests, like I mentioned earlier. I've got friends here in at the University of Tennessee football and basketball program that I'll be having on the show as well. I've got a really good friend of mine that is a master brewer, if I can say that correctly, brewer, that's over here in Knoxville. He has his own brewing company, and they do their own beer and things like that. So we're going to go there. I'm going to take you guys, we're not just going to be sitting down just talking head back and forth. It's not just going to always be sitting down with somebody all the time. I'm actually going to take you guys with me to the locations and actually talk with the folks, so you guys can really see what their business is about, or whatever they do, you'll be able to see what that's about. firsthand instead of us just kind of talking about it. And then, like I say, what I'll do is I'll set up everything. You guys will see the schedule. You guys can go to the Facebooks and the TikTok for Nick T. White Unfiltered to be able to see who the upcoming guests are. And if you have questions for them, I'll make sure to ask the questions and stuff like that on either the recorded or the live segments as well. And yeah, man, that's probably about all I can think of. We've got, like I say, we're going to have a little bit of talking. We're going to have guests. We're going to have our sports segment like I did earlier. We're also going to have a gaming segment like I did earlier. We're going to have a full hour podcast most of the time. But here just today is just kind of going to be, just a little bit of get to know me, a little bit of get to know what the show's going to be about. And then just kind of, just have a little fun here for a few. I believe that's all I can think of about the show. Like I say, if you guys want to check out the TV series that I'm a part of right now, you can go to Discovery Plus, Amazon Prime Video, and here on YouTube TV Movies. Our show is here, Cursed, The Bell Witch. I'm a paranormal UFO investigator. I've been doing that for about 30 years. I've been on more than 500 investigations. I have a paranormal team, Cage the Darkness Paranormal Investigations. I also have Cage the Darkness Entertainment, Cage the Darkness Gaming, which is all under the Cage the Darkness brand. And you guys can check us all out over there on Facebooks and all that kind of stuff as well. And that's about all that I can think of. So I'm going to just go ahead and open up. Give me 2 seconds and I'm going to get you guys... let me see if I can get chat up here, so that way if you guys have any type of questions, let me see here. And then you guys, we got some folks here that's already talked a little bit. I'm sorry I missed those. Like I said, I couldn't turn the chat on earlier while I'm kind of doing the show because I can't really see that while I'm doing this on my phone. But if you guys have any questions, I've got chat up here now and I can see that. It looks like there's Kratos. Good buddy Kratos. This is one of my buddies I've played games with for years. So Kratos, it's good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you came in. If you guys have any questions, we got some folks that said hi. Let me see. There was a Javon Marshall that said hi. Hello, Javon. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate you. Hopefully you're having a great day, my friend. We got Mike. Mike said hi. Hello, Mike. What's up, Mike? How you doing, brother? Looking into Kratos yet. And then we got Jeffrey. Hello, Jeffrey. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. Hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully today's being good to you and you're having a blessed day and good things are happening to you. So if you guys have any questions, I'll open that up and then we'll just wrap up for today. And then, like I say, I will be popping on often on TikTok for you guys. So that way you guys can interact a lot more because a lot of these podcasts that I'm doing with the guests will be recorded. So we won't be able to do a lot of interacting, but I will open up the messages, which are already open on TikTok and Facebook as well as here. So you guys can ask questions for the upcoming guest, and I'll have that schedule of the upcoming guests and stuff very soon, so you guys can kind of see who all's coming. Have different kind of people from sports, from television, from the paranormal field, of course, gaming. And then we'll have a lot of folks in the food industry as well, because not just ghost stuff. I'm a chef as well, even though I kind of hurt my back a few years ago, so I can't quite do the old chefing anymore. That 15 hours a day kind of gets the old guy some bags. I'll be 47 in August. You guys believe that? But I do have chat open now, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I've enjoyed popping on here for a little bit, so if you guys missed anything, if you missed the sports or the gaming segment here, I know they were fairly short today, but we'll have, good 10-15-minute segments on these. It'll be a full hour-long show every time. Then the first 30 minutes right in the middle, we'll have about a 5-10-minute segment, which is called Court Vision, which is going to have a lot of sports. Like I mentioned before, I have friends here in the University of Tennessee football and basketball program, and I have a lot of other friends across the United States that are in sports, and I do have some NFL, NBA, and UFC friends that I'll be bringing on, so you guys can ask your questions and have fun with them as well. So yeah, man, we're going to have a lot of sports, and I also have a lot of gaming folks. I have a few good friends that are very large creators that we're going to have on here, so you guys will be able to ask gaming questions. I do have a lot of friends that are small and medium creators as well that I think you guys would love to talk to, because this show, I'm not going to always have just celebrities and big name people and all that stuff, because that's not what I'm all about. I'm about supporting folks that I believe that should have the eyes on them. It's not all, you don't always have to be on TV or be big, large creators and all that stuff to be, and they're not, it's not like they're any better than anybody else. And like I say, I have small businesses. I have a lot of friends here and across the country. If you guys are also small business owners, and you have a very interesting business, or you want to talk about it, things like that, I'll be glad to have you on the podcast, and you guys can enjoy, talking with folks. And if folks have questions, stuff like that, they can ask you. I do have chat up now, so if you guys have any other questions, we'll chat here for another about 5 minutes, just kind of BSing here, and I'll tell you a little about some more stuff here real quick. And then if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up for today. But I enjoy this, man. I like talking to people. I enjoy learning about people. I enjoy learning about different things. And as you guys can see, I am nonstop talking, so I love talking. And I love telling you about cool things, especially stuff that I've learned. I'm a scientist. I'm a pastor and deliverance minister. I've been paranormal and UFO investigator for more than 29, 30 years now. I've been on more than 500 investigations. You guys can see me on the A&E Network television series Curse the Bell Witch. It's on Discovery Plus, Amazon Prime Video, and you guys can see some of the clips here on my YouTube channel as well. I have some investigations here with, just for example, I have a good friend, Dave Spinks, that I did an investigation with at Wheatland's Plantation right over here in Sevierville, Tennessee. If you know Chad Lindbergh from Fast and Furious, him and John Tenney did a show called Ghost Stalkers that investigated Wheatland's Plantation over here in Sevierville, and me and Dave went to go do an investigation there, and we recorded it, and you guys can see that here on the channel too. I do have some blogs. I have a few blogs that I did a few years ago, so make sure you go check that out. You can also see the progression of my editing. Like the very first one's like, and the next one's like, and the next one's like, okay, and then the next one's like, oh, that's pretty good. All right. so you can kind of see the progression of my editing and all that stuff. So hopefully I'm doing the 5th one now. I've already done a lot of the recording for it. I'm editing it together right now, so I'll be posting the 5th vlog on the YouTube channel soon. But now we won't always be here on my personal channel. I am building the Nick T. White Unfiltered YouTube channel, and it is live, but I just haven't got everything set up over there, so you can actually go there right now and make sure you're subbed and all that stuff, so that way once we start officially on the channel, we've got our set up that we're going to be having the guests on. We'll do a lot of recorded podcasts as well. And like I say, if you have any questions, once I get the schedule up for folks that have that are going to be on the show, and if you have questions, you can go to our TikToks, you can go to our here on the YouTubes, you can go and I'll have an email for you guys. I need to make an email for the channel as well, so you guys can send your questions in, and stuff like that. So why do you look completely different in thumbnail? Because I forgot to shave and all that. Forgot to shave, and it's bright in here, and I'm sitting in a camper, so good times. But it's always a good time. I'm always enjoying folks that do a lot of these different things. I'll be having a lot of fun businesses. I'll be things like that, and it's going to be a good time, man. We're going to have a lot of fun. Like I say, we'll have sports segments, we'll have gaming segments, we're going to have food segments as well. We're going to have, like I say, I have a good friend. He's a master brewer that will be going to these locations and actually doing that kind of stuff. We'll be learning about those different things. We'll be actually going into the businesses, so you guys can check all that kind of stuff out. I am also not just a paranormal UFO investigator. I'm also a deliverance minister. I'm also a pastor and Christian apologist. So we may have some debates on here as well at some point. That will probably be on my actual YouTube channel, Nick T. White. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that on the Nick T. White Unfiltered, but we may over there as well. We'll also be having a lot of folks. I have some really good folks that I've met. For an example, I do want to give you guys an idea. I have a friend that I've met. His name is Danny Mosley, and this him and his wife have created a ministry to where he goes out and he catfishes. He does a lot of catfishing. So he'll go out and get some catfish, he'll cook it up, and he has a lot of folks that sends in items to him, like clothing, teeth stuff, a lot of things like that. And he does a ministry called Feeding Mouths Feeding Mouths. So go check him out on TikTok. You guys can also check that group out on Facebook and stuff as well. They do a lot of stuff for the Lord, so I do want to bring attention to that. And make sure you guys go check them out because, yeah, I mean, just like I say, where I've chasing UFOs and ghosts and for a very long time, that's kind of what brought me to be a pastor and a Christian apologist as well as a deliverance minister, because I've actually been involved with a couple exorcisms, and they were scary as crap. Yeah, so yeah, and I've seen some things face to face with some things. It's breathing on my face before in a dark warehouse. Like I'll tell you real quick before we completely close up, because we've answered a few questions, and of course we got some folks in there trying to do some trolling. So we just go ahead and take those guys out. That block finger is very easy to hit. But anyway, yeah, I'll give you guys a cool little story before I completely end. Because I always, one of the main questions, and I've been on a lot of different podcasts. I'm a celebrity guest investigator at a lot of different areas. I've had a great time with all that. I've met a lot of friends through the paranormal field as well. But I always get that question, like, what is one of your most scariest or most craziest investigation that you've been on? And it's always the one that I tell them is the one that I've been on was when myself and a friend of mine were about 16, 17 years old. At that time, I was crazy. Well, I'm crazy now, but I'm a little smarter crazy, you know. But at that time, I was a little crazy. Him and I, you know, like we were in junior ROTC. You know, I was in the military. I'm a veteran. I was in the military. But I was also in ROTC during high school, and so like we would always like do these what we would call SF things, special forces. You know, we'd go on these little vacations or little fun time stuff, and then we went to this place. It was back behind his house, and there was a railroad track that went that was abandoned. That was back behind his house that we went, and we wanted to go camp near it. There was no electricity. There's no electronic wires. Nobody lived in the area where that was. So of course, him and I, crazy as we always are, we go and check some of this stuff out. Ended up walking down through the railroad track and started seeing a light that was kind of flashing and going back and forth a little bit, like that was over top of the railroad track. And it was getting, and we, of course, me and him, we was kind of like, oh, what is this? What's that? So we were like, all right, well, we got to go check to see what this is. So we end up kind of walking down through there. As we get closer to this light that's swinging, and there's no way a light can be out there unless there is somebody else out there, because there's no electricity, no houses. You know, the closest subdivision was probably a good 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from even near where we was even at. So we get down closer to the light dissipates. Next thing we know, we start hearing a big sound. There was a little small, like, I guess you could say it's a warehouse. I keep saying warehouse because that's kind of what it reminded me of. You know, it had been abandoned, had been there for a very long time, you know, nothing in there, no electricity, things like that. So I ended up, him and I ended up going on down through there because we started hearing stuff coming from that warehouse once that light dissipated and we got closer to it. So once we got to that warehouse, we started hearing those things, and he's like, well, do you want to go in, or am I going to go? I said, oh, I'm going to go in and see what this is. You guys know me, you know, I'm the craziest one to go in the craziest places. But so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go in. I'm going to check this out. So I was like, well, we had our walkie-talkies, of course. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go in, keep in contact with me. I'm scared of shit. Let's see what we can find. So it's like, all right. So I go in, I start walking in, and the way it's set up is like, it's not a really big place. But the warehouse was abandoned, like I say. You know, there was nothing in there. You know, there was no electricity. There's no way that any kind of sounds or anything, unless it was an animal. But I always try to make sure I didn't see any droppings. You know, I'm an outdoorsman kind of guy. Just thank God my dad's an outdoorsman, so he taught me a lot of stuff when I was younger. But I didn't see any kind of animal stuff in there, nothing like that. So I go on into the warehouse, and I start hearing stuff in the back far left. That's where this little office place was. So I was like, all right, well, I was telling him, all right, I was like, dude, all right, I hear some sounds. I hear some sounds back in the little office area, so I'm going to go in the back left. And he's like, all right, he said, just keep in contact. So as I walk back in there, I keep hearing it louder. I get further in there, and I finally walk into the room, and then I really do start hearing scratching. I start hearing scratching around on the floor, up on the wall, things like that. So I kind of, as even back then, I kind of had the, you know, I know to put my back to a wall or put my back to something so nothing hits me from behind or gets me from behind. That's just tactics. But as I put my back up against the wall, you know, this stuff started getting a little closer. I started hearing a lot of loud sounds up on the wall, started hearing like scratching and stuff like that. Started seeming like steps that were kind of stepping up on me right in front of me a little bit. At that time, I was like, of course, right in the middle of my martial arts stuff. So I'm a tough guy, you know, sports and things, ROTC, you know, I'm that guy. So, you know, I was like, all right, well, I got to stand my ground. I don't know what's going on. So I, you know, contact my buddy. I'm like, all right, man, I'm hearing stuff. I don't know what this is. He's like, all right, well, just let me know. He's like, keep in contact. I was like, all right. So next thing I know, this stuff kind of, it seems like it walks up on me and about a foot away from me, right in front of me, just like right in front of me. It seems like it run up and stop. And I don't know if you guys have been around horses before, but there's a sound that they make. They'll go kind of like that. Literally when this thing got, I'm telling you, it was right here. It did that and blew on my face, like air blew on my face. Okay, first thing as an investigator back then, I knew there was no cracks in the walls. There was no windows in that room. There was no windows in that room. No air conditioners. The door I shut behind me when I got into that room, there was no external anything that was going to be able to do that. And this stuff was blowing on my face in front of me. So this is some of the reasons I became an investigator. It's because some of this stuff was like, dude, what am I seeing? And so I immediately, of course, that scared the crap out of me. I mean, I'm young then, so I went through all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it scared the crap out of me. I'm even getting chills right now talking about it. But I got chills on my back, you know, all that stuff. And I was just right then, I didn't know anything else to say. I just kind of stood my ground. I said, Jesus, help me. You know, get me out of this situation, man. And then next thing I know, I just felt tough. I felt like I had some kind of armor on. I said, get away from me. And I just kind of did like that. And it felt like it backed up. And then I just made my way out the door, got outside finally, got around the corner where my buddy was. I was like, bro, and I was a little shaky, scared, like, you know, scared the crap out of me. I'm a young kid at the time. I haven't been through a lot of hundreds of investigations like I have now. I'm 40, I'll be 47 here in August. You can tell by the gray, you know, I wasn't that tough guy. Well, I was a little tough, but I wasn't, you know. So I'm like, dude, I just heard this. And he's like, well, what was it? What did you figure out? And I told him about the blowing on my face, you know, and I swear, you know, I can't 100% say this is what I saw, but I think I remember it. It seemed like there was two little red eyes looking at me, but I can't tell you that for a fact now because it's been a very long time, but I do remember that whole section of that stuff blowing on my face. And yeah, him and I ended up going back in there. But nothing. There was nothing in there at the time. And he's like, dude, I don't hear nothing now. You know, it's one of those. It's like, oh, I don't hear nothing now. What are you even hearing? You probably made up stuff. You know, nothing like that. He didn't say you made it up, but he's like, yeah, man. You know, I don't know what you heard, but hey, you know, let's get on out of here. So we ended up getting out, but that's one of the many different experiences that I've had in the paranormal field, and you know, I've been in you know, UFOs. I've been on a lot of investigations for UFOs and extraterrestrials and things like that, because even one of the bigger ones that I was on, there was where a craft was supposed to had landed, and then on the ground we had picked up a lot of gamma radiation and stuff like that. And if you guys know anything about ufology, like if you ever see like a UFO that maybe have landed or something, if you think it had, the easiest way to pick that up is look for gamma radiation, because for some reason it tends to be around in locations that people say that UFOs are landing. So that's one of the cool things, man. I've learned a lot. I enjoyed it. And now, you know, here I'll be 47 this year. I've been on, like I say, about 500 to 600 investigations. I've been investigating all this kind of stuff for more than 30 years. Besides that, you know, I do martial arts and gaming and music. You know, I'm a chef as well. Went to culinary school, and I'm a chef for a very long time. But all kinds of fun stuff like that. But that's about all, you know, for today. And you guys, if you guys have any questions real quick, I've got the chat up now. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever about the series, if you guys missed anything, you know, if you missed the sports and gaming segment earlier, if you missed the very beginning where I tell you a little bit about the series, the TV series I'm a part of, as well as the podcast, make sure you guys go back, check out the replay and all that stuff. I will make sure to post that when we're done. But make sure you guys go over to TikTok, Nick White CTD. We do have a Nick T. White Unfiltered TikTok as well. We also have a Facebook, Nick T. White Unfiltered, there too. So make sure you guys come over and hang out. We're going to do a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's about all I can think of now. So hopefully you guys will come back. I will get you guys a schedule on our next podcast, which will probably be next week. And we will probably start with guests. I'm not sure yet. I'm sure I probably will. But I'll keep you guys updated. You guys go check that kind of stuff out. But that's about all, man. That's all I can think of. I love you guys. Make sure you guys come out and check it out. Nick T. White Unfiltered. You guys check me out on TikTok, Twitch, Nick White CTD. I love you guys. Like I always say, peace and love to each and every one of you. Keep it real out there. If not, keep that shit to yourself. Peace out, guys.